All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. What's happening? Welcome to the Elite 100. What a amazing week a lot of people have been having. Winding out the year. I don't know about you guys, but 2023 was just a blink. It happened so fast. So looking forward to a new year and all things in the Elite 100 here. As usual, why don't we start off with some wins? I want to give a shout out to Mr. Newsom. We got part of the gangs up there. We got Mr. Gullickson and Jeff and Scott up there. I know Aaron and I ended up having some business things we couldn't attend, but Jeremy, why don't you kick off with the win and let us know what you're up to, man?
Yeah, for sure. And sorry if I cut out just a little bit. The win is I got a group of you guys. There's our boy Eric. There's Jeff. Scott just went to the bathroom. But we're here working on the markets, how to day trade, how to swing trade, how to use options, how to use indicators. We got you on the theater room screen right here.
I
We're
can see
partying.
in the background.
We're learning. We're learning about ourselves. We're learning about money. We're learning about mindset, strategy, implementation. My boy Greg's here. So we're learning about risk. We're learning about how to control risk. We're learning about why to use our money and how to pour more money into our communities, into our passions, into our charitable arrangements. So we're learning, and it's an incredible time for me to meet some of the people from the Elite 100 group.
I love it. I love it. We're gonna get another trip up there maybe next month. So we have some more interest. I can feel the energy coming through the screen, brother. Great job. Great job.
Thank
Let's
you.
see. Nelson, what's a good win, brother?
I'm happy as can be. Things are just going, I'm just so grateful things are going good. You know, there's moments where you're asking for things, you're needing things. I'm just grateful that life is good. I'm healthy. My family's healthy. Everybody's happy. Looking forward to a great holiday season with family coming into town. So having a record year in business. So all the stars are aligned.
Yeah, I love it. I remember last time we checked, like you said, you literally having the best year of your entire life in business. Sounds like health, family, friends, everything else too. So great job, man. Keep up the good work. I'll do one more. Blake, what about you, bud? What's a good win?
Well, funny you should ask, man. And this isn't one that I would expect. I'm not looking for kudos because I think everybody in this room goes through their day without ever having to think about this. But I just quit vaping 4 days ago after leaning pretty heavily on that shit. There was some serious withdrawal, but I'm going strong. I'm getting to the point where it's not occurring to me that I'm missing something as much. So I'm feeling good about that.
You should. It's interesting. You know, we can have a positive mental outlook and know all the things and study all the things, but then what you're highlighting there is the power of a paradigm, right? A mental program. And I even use that in my slide decks, right? I show people that smoking and wealth building to the subconscious mind are the same thing. They're just mental programs expressed physically. And this stuff can be insidious too. Next thing you know, you get this thing in your mouth, you don't even know why. So great
Yep.
job. That's actually a big deal too. Not an easy thing to overrule a paradigm. So love it, love it, love it. Mr. Ivan, what's happening, bud? What's a good win for you? It's good to see you.
Hello, amigo. Go.
Good to see you, my friend. You still over there in
UK.
UK? Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's actually expanding really well, and we are establishing really well the multifamily office space. We put a minimum of 10 million net worth to be able to take clients and so on. We were taking 5 million before, but we didn't manage to service and all that, you know. So pretty happy because we are improving the technology across the family office to actually make it into the level of creating something that I discovered that in the wealth is very unique, you know, because when the wealth expands, Brian, something tends to happen sometimes. And you guys, I'm sure you have the experience of what I'm telling you about. When the wealth tends to expand, there is a risk there that the harmony and the sanity of the family, it has a risk to break if you put it, mostly if the wealth comes at the fastest speed.
Mm. Yeah, they call that the like lottery ticket syndrome, when somebody experiences so much wealth so quickly, but the paradigm is not, is not at the set point of the new wealth. It can be very chaotic. Yeah.
That's for sure. So, for example, tomorrow we are having the Family Office Summit, and I am going to be bringing an expert. He's the founder of the Relationship Magic Academy, this guy is in the mission of saving 1 million marriages
Mm,
in the next 10 years.
that's a noble.
Yeah, so we are going to be doing that and so on. And we are establishing an office for the family office in the UK. I am speaking with the wealth management executive from Citibank UK that is leaving the Citibank and possibly joining as the COO for the family office in the UK to expand Europe and so on. And the whole purpose is to increase harmony and sanity at the high net worth individuals, you know? So that's
Love
what
it.
I am doing while at the same time running all and helping our CEOs for my own companies, you know.
I love it. Great work, man. You're taking over the world one country at a time, brother. I love it. All right, I'm gonna read the mastermind principles, get us going here, and then today we're gonna get into really quick laser coaching. It's probably gonna take all of today and then all of next week, which is fine because we're coming into the end of the year. So if at all possible, if you guys are in a position to turn your cameras on, that'd be amazing. We're going to just basically state our C-type goal. And then, what are some challenges you're facing and how can we help? So I really want to use the power of this mastermind to help you guys come right into the end of the year to solve some challenges. So mastermind principles. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this blessed day, for allowing us to come together in a spirit of harmony to mastermind for the benefit of all our mastermind members, our families, and for the good of mankind. We ask that you bless this mastermind group today and every day forward. We release ourselves to the mastermind because we are strong when we have others to help us. We believe the combined intelligence of the mastermind creates a wisdom far beyond our own. We understand that we will more easily create positive results in our lives when we're open to looking at ourselves, our challenges and opportunities from another's point of view. We decide to release our desire totally and trust in the mastermind, and we're open to accepting new possibilities. We forgive ourselves for mistakes we have made. We also forgive others who have wronged us in the past so we can move forward into the future with a clean slate. We ask God and our mastermind family to hear what we really want, our goals, our dreams, and our desires, and to hear what our mastermind partners are supporting us in our fulfillment. We accept. We know, relax, accept, believing that the working power of the mastermind will respond to our every need. We are grateful knowing this is so. We now have a covenant in which it is agreed that the mastermind shall supply us with an abundance of all things necessary to live a success-filled and happy life. We dedicate ourselves to be of maximum service to the world and to our fellow human beings, to live in a manner that will set the highest example for others to follow and remain an open channel of God's will. We go forth with a spirit of enthusiasm, excitement, and expectancy. So why don't we get right into it? Mr. Guido, really quick, what is your C-type goal? What are some things you're working on, and how can we help you today? What are some challenges or solutions that we can help you with today?
Sure, man. Thank you for asking me, Brian. But C-type goal is currently to earn in excess of 30 million a month in a calm, confident, heavenly manner. Operating, I've said probably a few times on this call, in just 3 different verticals at the moment. Of course, behind me, philanthro investors, working with Ivan on that, as well as my own hedge fund, continue to build out not just that fund, but also additional hedge funds and private syndicates, et cetera. And then, of course, doing financial coaching on the side too. So building out that's really going to launch more heavily in 2024. So at the moment, what's really helpful for me, I often find when I start out with the approach of serving others, I'm often helped as well.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the collaborations that are actively going on within this room right now, within the Elite 100, are very meaningful to me and productive. So as far as help goes, I really feel like I'm living in the flow of God's unlimited good at the moment. So that's a good thing. And so as far as help goes, I just really want to just support my fellow brothers and sisters here on this call to the best of my ability, and really I'm just keen on listening today and learning more and just collaborating. So I think collaborations and masterminding together really is what's going to take us to the next 10 levels in 2024 and beyond, right? So I think that's where I'm at.
Awesome, brother. It's good to hear everything's going well. Well, let me just ask this so everybody knows, what is an ideal partnership or an ideal JV with some of the things you're going?
Well, I'm becoming more and more known, Brian, as a capital raiser. So the ability to raise capital for just different ventures and syndicates is perhaps a specialty of mine coming from my financial background. So, having a fairly significant network of just individuals worldwide is helpful to raise capital for just different ventures. So, so I know I'm working with some of the people on this call actively. But I think when it comes to finance, I think, just please consider me a resource. I mean, obviously I'm accredited, licensed, advisor. Not everyone on the call is, but certainly consider me a resource in that regards, because I can help people, really steer people through some of those, just those questions, obviously. But I don't know, I don't pretend to know everything, but I know enough to be dangerous. But at the same time, I can be quite helpful when it comes to just that realm.
Okay. No, I love it. Yeah, I know if you don't know, you know somebody who does. So yeah, all things finance. And if anybody's looking to raise capital, some of you are looking to start charities. So I know Greg is working with some charities to help them, orchestrate some financial solutions. So good.
So Greg, you're
Awesome.
trying to do more of that. You're trying to do
Yeah.
more capital raising for people, for companies.
Yeah, I think one of the, I probably have 2 or 3 deals per week come across my plate as far as just different opportunities. And so I'm becoming somewhat of a resource for others, what I would say in the high net worth space of just like, hey, this opportunity, right? So there's just a lot of things that I vet quite strenuously. So when I position them to people, it might be wise that I could do a hot seat, Brian,
Okay.
where I could position me for some of these opportunities or just some of the things that are on my plate at the moment. That might be more of, definitely a good use of time as well.
Okay. I will put that down for sometime in 2024, early.
Yes, please.
Awesome. Lenny, what is your current C-type goal, and what are some things we can do to help?
I am so happy and grateful that I now acquire $1 million a month in passive income in a calm, confident, and heavenly manner. I think that I'm moving forward on creating that, working towards that, but I also would always entertain some new funnel. I think you and I know of a funnel that I should be looking at real clearly. And at 3:23 this morning, I got a download that made a lot of sense. And that's based on the 2 calls that we were on last night, TIR and Mindset Masters. Both of those are just, they're a gift. They're not an obligation for me. They're a gift. And I would encourage anybody else to get on just to see, because I think you get off those calls and you say, wow, you say, wow, because there's so much information that is given to you if your eyes are open and your ears are open. And it's from people that don't even know they're filling my bucket. They're just saying the right things that I need to hear at that time. So the other things that I would like to do is always look forward to other funnels that can help me achieve that $1 million a month, because I have places for that money to go. And again, at the risk of repeating myself again, it's very clear. It's $2 million a month to the Bench Project. $200,000 a month to the Bench Project, $200,000 a month to the Bench Project Philanthropy, $200,000 a month to the Len Beth Financial Fund, $200,000 to the Romanowski Family Financial Fund, and then $200,000 a month in experiment and fun and excitement and
Living
things like
life,
that.
yeah, multiple homes,
Living life instead of just going through life. You have to learn how to live life and enjoy life. And that's something I've shortchanged myself on for several years now. Self-imposed, of course, but probably because of the healthcare profession I was in.
Yeah.
Always serving one-on-one versus serving Lenny and Beth and the family. So open to other opportunities. Perhaps Greg will be talking at some point, because I can see
I think it's time for you and Greg to have a chat about linking up on the bench project, what he just mentioned he does for charities, and also,
Right.
you know, some viable other funnels. Also with philanthro investing, it might be time to have a deeper chat with, you know, Ivan and Greg on those buckets. And obviously, I think of Blake and Dave Steck too. Maybe having a deeper dive. I know they have some new things, some new, you know, lower risk, foundational type investments. So my suggestion, get with Blake, you know, get with Greg, and looks like Ivan has some input.
Yes.
Hello, my friend. How are you?
Hello, amigo.
Amigo, long time. Okay, so
Yes.
feedback for first for Greg, because for some reason I missed the point. Greg, we are about to launch, which I've been working for some time now, to establish a very unique and robust program for capital raisers, as our philanthropy investors founders need it so much, as you know. And I have a very unique methodology and technology that will give you a lot of people into your inbox, ready for you to fundraise. So that's something I've been working in the back. Maybe Sky didn't upgrade you yet on that, but we're working on that. So that's for you, Greg. And for Len, I think what came to mind, Len, was what the message that you just shared is so beautiful. But we need to see a way for you to put it in front of a massive amount of people, not just 17 of us.
Thank you.
So something that I will encourage you is that, first of all, we just launched, and Greg knows about this, we just launched the Philanthro Donors Fund, which is going to be looking for charities as yours. If the charity is supporting one of the 10 life essentials, we will qualify you, onboard you, and so on. And Greg can brief you more on the 10 life essentials. We will onboard you and then help you with, so our philanthro donors can decide to donate to your organization.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So maybe is there a possibility of you doing a presentation fully of benchmark to Greg and Sky, so they can analyze if it is improving in any way any of the 10 life essentials that we want to push forward with philanthro investors and the philanthro donors, you know, and just, you know, take that benefit, because it's a possibility there. But then I also encourage you to get into bigger stages and so on, and the philanthro investors teams can also help you with that as you onboard, you know.
Well, thank you for that, Ivan. One thing that I'm 100% certain on with this C-type goal is that this is not just about Len and Beth Romanowski. This is to take this, grow it for us, but also grow it to support the world, to bring the world to even a better place. I'm not narrow-minded in the sense that we want dollars just for us. We want dollars so we can do good with those dollars.
I know.
And as a matter of fact, this has been instilled in our children, and they too are going down the same path we've gone down. So I would love to create their fund, their financial fund, so they can do better things in the world with their dollars also. My son and I have been on medical mission trips in the past, and he has taken that where we were giving care away, and he has taken that to the fact that he wants to do it financially additionally. So without ever having to sit down and say, well, this is why we're doing it, they've seen firsthand why we give, why we help the next person, why we benefit the country, the world.
Yeah, I think foundationally, everybody in the Elite 100, we all have philanthropic goals, but I think it'd be worth letting you and Greg sitting one-on-one if they need to bring Ivan in, because there's a lot of synergies that we haven't explored with your charity and what they're doing. So I think that'd be a deeper call offline for sure. And then I would encourage you to get with Blake too, just to understand, you know, their current, you know, offerings, what they're doing in their family office. I think those would be two good things.
Well, I appreciate that. What I do know is that I've self-funded I never thought about finding people to help us fund the bench project. We've
Yeah.
self-funded that for all the reasons. It's just the right thing to do. It's about mental health and wellness, and we enjoy that.
Mhm.
You know, taking it back to my talk on this call 2 years ago, I know what the bench project is all about because I dealt with it firsthand. It saved my life and it saved my marriage. And so more and more people can use that.
Love it.
You know, we hear about, Ivan brought up the person saving 1 million marriages in the next 10 years. Well, this one saved hours. The
Yeah.
bench project saved hours by journaling, sitting, taking the time. None of us really have the time to sit down for 15, 20, or 30 minutes as you want to or as you need to. We pour into everyone, but there are times that we forget to pour into ourselves. And this call, probably not so much, but other calls, I know that the people forget to pour into themselves. So
Yeah,
if
probably
this
not
is
so much here. Probably not so
yeah,
much here.
not
What we
not
could
so
do
much
is
here.
we could have you and Beth come on and do a hot seat in 2024 and kind of let people know you know, what's going on with the bench project and kind of where it's at. I think that'd be good.
That'd be great. Let's
Awesome.
maybe at the end of the first quarter, so we
Yeah.
have more, because this is a slower time for us. But
Oh, no
I
worries.
can
We
do
can schedule it.
the quick snapshot is we are now in 35 states, and we just placed a bench in Berlin, Germany. So Berlin. So I'm
That's
happy
crazy.
about that. It's pretty wild. I said I wanted to be international by the end of 2023, and about a month ago that happened.
No, that's awesome.
So we
I love
silently keep chugging ahead.
it. Love it, brother. Love it, love it, love it.
Thank
Great
you.
job.
Thank you, everyone.
No worries. So make sure you follow up those couple of connections.
Will do.
What about
Thank
you,
you.
bud? Really quick, what's your C-type goal and one or two things we can do to help?
Well, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm living in a great health and very enlightened mind. Sorry. And earning in excess of $1 million a month effortlessly, and with God's grace, I am also very grateful that I have $1 billion net worth, and most grateful for being able to spend 50% of my time in philanthropy.
So one thing that comes to mind right away, just in what you said there, you know, a $1 billion net worth is probably more like 10 million a month coming in. If you
At my age, more, maybe even more.
it's a chunk, you know what I mean? $1 billion in net worth and assets, more than likely those are spinning off way more than 1 million a month. It might even be more like 1 million a day. So just something to be in harmony with, like your cybernetic mechanism, right? Your subconscious mind. And whatever you want is whatever you want, right? But those two things are not, they're not in synergy with, right?
Yeah.
Just from a left, you know, you're a number cruncher, just from a left brain point of view. So either bring one up or one maybe down, but your subconscious mind is going to find a conflict there, I think.
Okay. On that, thank you.
Yeah, I would bring the other one up, but it's up to you. Knowing what we know, I mean, we have new members coming in. Joe Stolte, he's not on today. He's over in Hawaii, I think, still, but you know that his company is going to go public. It's his fourth one. They just passed 100K a month, 1.2 a year, which in AI tech, like buzzes their valuation way up. Now the big boys are coming in. But what I'm saying to that is we have new people coming in all the time that have global ideas. And we're getting at the very entry level of stuff. So when you talk about 10 million a month or $1 billion in net worth and assets, what we're really doing is calling into existence some of the channels, just like Lenny said, that we don't have yet. So, you know, everybody, in my opinion, always be open to new things and, you know, always vet them out, get your team, we'll vet them here, things like that. Greg's a good person to vet. But is there any resistance or anything we can help you with immediately?
Well, unfortunately, you and Eric Markarian know the challenges I'm facing right now, but
Yeah,
they're the current day problems, and they'll be gone very soon. And Greg, I am in Florida. I do want to meet up with you next few days, whenever you have time. We're about an hour apart right now. My attorney filed a 50 whatever 3C, whatever that thing number is, for my Armenia charity. Josiah's willing to help, so I was very grateful for that. And Greg has already mentioned that he would be ready to help. I honestly think we need to create a model and then duplicate this for everywhere we are interested. It's just a rinse and repeat at that point, I think.
So you should connect with Ivan too, because they have the model. And just so you guys all know, here, we've been looking to crack the code. And I think Greg and Ivan have cracked the code on this. We've been looking to crack the code for charities where people can donate, but their donation might actually earn. They might actually get a piece back. So there's a piece of a taxable donation supporting humanity, that the philanthropic part. But the idea in the elite has always been, what if somebody could donate and earn? So the charity wins and they win and they get a write-off. And you can see Ivan and Greg. So yeah, I think that's a deeper dive call with you and Greg and or Ivan, because they have cracked the code on setting something like that up. And I think we definitely need to have a in Q1 we'll do a charity fundraising model, in the elite again. Because I remember 3 years ago we were talking about this. And now the plan, we've attracted the people that made it happen.
In Fort Lauderdale, and Greg was one of the first. Both of them were very ready to help, and now we're getting there. Another ask I do have is maybe if we can give Ivan a hot seat for for a session or whatever, or even a Thursday night, just to really explain what family office does or can do for people. I've been reading about it, and unfortunately, there's a lot of conflicting information out there. So somebody who's done it, obviously Ivan's done it, and maybe others.
Well, Ivan and the Steck family office too. I would say maybe we could get the two of you guys together to let the group just Q&A, pick your brain, best practices. It sounds like would be a good thing, and we can record it so that future members can see it. Would you guys both be willing to do that?
Of course.
Yeah. Blake, you think you and
happy to talk to Dave about it for sure. Yeah, it seems like it'd be a valuable session.
Cool. Awesome.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Mr. Shine, what's happening, brother? You're down in Roatan. living the dream.
Yeah. Hey. Yep. So we're vacationing in Roatan for a couple of weeks. Coming back tomorrow, and then this weekend heading to Ocala, Florida for a Christmas party. But my C-type goal is I'm so happy and grateful now that I receive over $1 million per month in passive income from multiple sources on a continuous basis that I get to keep, use, give, and spend joyously. Something that would help me is I'm looking for a system to get closings in Florida, but not the face-to-face, take one realtor out at a time. I really would like some sort of an internet-based program that just drives traffic to us. I mean, we don't even have a website yet, but something like that, like a landing page with something that just drives realtors to us. That would be huge, because I did that for 10 years of taking realtors out, and that's not efficient. And so that's kind of what I'm looking for help with.
So make sure to write this down. Get with me. I have a newly discovered SEO genius. And what you're really looking to do is build out a couple pages so that when people are searching, the traffic goes to you. That's what you're really saying, without doing paid advertising.
Exactly.
The opposite of paid advertising is search engine optimization. Getting somebody who really understands how the Google Analytics, when people are searching, if they type in Florida, title attorney or whatever, or you want them to see your page pop up. So I recently, last couple of months, I've met this person. We're going to be bringing him into the matrix. He's like borderline a savant. It would at least be worth a conversation, and just make sure to hit me up and I'll connect you.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah.
I'm actually at a really good point for that, because since I left the law firm, the new title company, which is not really new, but it has no website. It's like a brand new
blank slate.
Yeah, exactly. And I take that as a good thing to have because spent a lot of money on a website that never did anything.
Yep.
And I people are telling me all you need is one landing page, maybe 2 pages, and capture some emails and go get it after
Well, it's
that.
a little, I'll tell you from personal experience, a little harder than that. But when you know somebody that knows what's doing, he'll actually make hundreds of pages
Nice.
individually that, and they're just pages with blogs. But they all drive back to one point. That's part of what somebody that really knows what they're doing does. They look at all these different things and they create a lot of content. So when people are searching, now it's showing up on 100 pages, like, oh, Michael must be the expert. That's how Google sees this.
Perfect. Yeah,
So it's
I
not the
really,
traditional, yeah.
I'm really grateful for that because there's so many people out there and they seem to have the answer, but it's not the
Yeah.
answer.
No, we've spent
Make a
6 or
good
7
website.
figures, yeah, over 8 years in marketing in the wrong ways. Understanding SEO is for anybody here. It's not as simple as just putting a page up. I can tell you that. But when you get somebody that's in the know and you have a blank slate, I think that'd be a good connection. Nelson, you got
Hey,
a
Michael, have your partner reach out to me too, because we can get the LinkedIn outreach going too. We can supercharge the outreach to realtors in an area throughout Florida. So
Okay.
have your partner. He reached out to me a month or so ago, but I haven't
know.
followed up on it.
Yep. Cool. It's on my list.
any
Awesome.
other connections? Because there's also the organic. Who do you know in Florida that's a realtor, right? Or is it just Florida? It's obviously New England and Florida, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's Mass, Rhode Island, and Connecticut is doing great. It's Florida is just sort of just ramping up, and I kind of have to learn the market better because it's like local in Ocala, but I see people closing in Naples and
Yeah.
the Panhandle, all that stuff. So I'm just trying to learn how to get traffic from those places as well.
Happen to it. Greg, you got advice?
Yeah, Michael, obviously living in Florida, pretty well integrated within the real estate market here. So happy to chat about expanding that for you. I know we're chatting on other areas as well, but yeah, there's some real estate schools, which can be a pay to play. If you like sponsor a school for like $1,000 or something, you can have like 60, 100 agents at a time where you can do a lot of work with them, especially the new ones that are getting started. But those are helpful. So I can make some of those inroads for you.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the group goes, yeah, and you're still working with Chris Johnson, right? Because he has some automations that he's setting up. So I always thought that you guys would be like a good JV, a good partnership.
Yeah, I got to get back to that because we've talked about some of the things he's doing, but not really the stuff I'm doing. So yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you want me to put you guys on a two-way text? Because I mean, he's in Texas, you're in Florida. It's like if you guys ever came together with like complementing each other's offerings.
Yeah, we're
I-
all set. We talk to each other at least once a week already.
Oh,
so-
okay, cool,
Yep.
cool. Yeah, no, there's definitely you and him are looking to do similar things, just in some different spaces. So.
He gets distracted whenever I talk to him. He's like, "How do I get to Roatan?"
Love it, love it, love it. Let's see, Mr. Dugan. What's your current C-type goal, brother? And what if any challenges you have that we can help out?
Yeah, so my C-type goals, I'm so happy and grateful now that I can operate in a calm, confident manner that is easy and effortlessly, where my family companies generate $10 million in revenue a month by providing an enhanced way of living for 100,000 people.
Love it.
Right now I'm going through some transitions. So Brian, thanks for the little bit of a kick. Things were in motion already, but my director of operations, COO title came on this week. We also sent out a new offer to a new property manager who's going to start next week. And we're probably going to have a shakeup with our current in-house management on the property management division, because that's one of our core pillars, property management, construction management, and investments. And then we want to get to the point where we're layering technology onto our operations and then roll that out nationally. So that's current status of where I'm at right now. I think on the short term, I'm having like direct issues with backfilling a couple small investments. That's like an immediate need. They're just like private lending deals for some small JV fix and flips, paying out high interest. So that's like a current ask. If anybody's looking for really high interest payouts, like in the 20+ interest range, then definitely talk to me. I have some securitized assets where that could be a good fit in probably about a 6-month hold.
Is
And
that
then
that real estate backed assets?
correct, yeah. So they're fix and flips that are collateralized by a performing asset on the side. So
Mm,
instead of using the subject property, I'm using a side asset as collateral, and then I'm funding or backfilling a current asset that we're going to be turning.
okay. And that's like 20% a year or more?
Yeah, I put a creative structure on it where it's a guaranteed 20% base and then a profit share
Okay.
of like a rev share of profitability on the upside.
Awesome. Yeah. So if anybody here has interest in that bucket, get with Kevin. Obviously, you guys, I get a full disclaimer. The Matrix is not an investment advisor. We are not legal tax advisors or anything like that. Enter at your own risk, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, that's,
Yep.
I want people to be collaborating, digging deeper, vetting and working together, obviously. So,
Yeah. So
what about, I know you're kind of restructuring your company. Did you ever get that Performia? Did you ever go through that?
I have a call set up with Ivan in a few days here to discuss Performia.
Mm-hmm.
I had a call with Joe Stolte on COO discussions as well. So looking
Good.
forward to the call with Ivan, because when I originally set up my business, I actually set it up as a family office. I've been about a holding company, but I'm far from the family office implementation. So I'd love to hear from Ivan and Dave on like what those thresholds were to get set up to that point. But that's the direction that I'm trying to get to, is just continuously building companies and adding them into the family and hopefully helping impact more people is the ultimate trajectory that we're headed on right now.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. Any immediate needs or requests, anything you want us to share or you need advice on?
I think the next couple weeks, I just want to see how this transition plays out. So December is going to be a big month in terms of like having more hands-on attention with our middle management, seeing if they're going to stick with it or not, and then transitioning people, out of the company if they can't. Unfortunately, if they're not here for the mission and they're not able to make the impact that we need them to, then we have to find the right people to be in the right seats. And it sucks because, Brian, we talked about this. I mean, I really care about everybody on our team. At the same time, it's hard because I can't sacrifice the rest of the organization speed of execution for the sake of a couple individuals who, just weren't able to perform the way we needed them to.
Yeah, 100%. That's something that Ivan helped us out with greatly in 2023. And it's a necessary thing. It's making sure you have the right people in the right places and understanding how to see who is and who isn't, and then taking action when there isn't. And it's definitely tough, but anybody here that's growing companies, they always grow. And then you get to a ceiling and you find out, in that growth, you more than likely have people that should not be in your company. It's just the way it is. It's kind of human nature. And then you kind of scale back the team and get some efficiencies, and then you push for your next ceiling of growth. This happens multiple times on your way to 100 million plus type companies. And Ivan has a lot of experience in this. So does Blake and Dave and some other of you. I just want to take a quick second to welcome Chad Peterson. Chad, maybe just a couple of minutes on your background. Chad's kicking the tires, checking us out, but he's an M&A expert. He has a machine of buying and selling companies nationally, and I don't know if it's internationally, but just give us a quick background and all things Chad so we can understand who you are.
Yeah, sure. I'll try to keep it short just because I know that I'm not in the hot seat or whatever you guys call it. But bottom line is, guys, I've been selling companies for most of my life, and it started off when I was real young. I started a company, sold it, started a company and sold it. And I realized that liquidity that you can create from selling is far more powerful than income, because liquidity can be leveraged into massive wealth if you know how to do it. And so I've written 5 books, but these 2 books I'm holding in my hand, one is called Quantum Stack Investing. And I show business owners how to take quantum leaps in income, stack the odds in their favor, like banks and casinos do as a business owner, and treat their business like an investment, not a JOB. That stands for just over broke. So I show you how to take a small liquidity event and use government-backed money like the Small Business Administration and show you how to leverage that money to become a multimillionaire. If you're making $100,000 a year, which that's not really my client, I'm just giving you an example. If you're making $100,000 a year as a business owner, I can show you how to be a multimillionaire in 5 years, and you don't have to scale your business. Now, I wrote this other book, the QSI Shift, and that changes people's minds on how wealth is truly built. And it's all about preserving cash flow in your business. A lot of people die on the hill of trying to grow their business because they use hard-earned cash flow to expand, only to expand into headaches and things like that. Because startups usually fail. And what most people don't understand, contrary to all the gurus online, what most people don't understand about scaling is that you immediately put yourself into a startup category because you are performing well at this rate and you're doing really well. And now you're like, well, let's grow it. Well, now you're officially a startup again, and the startup failure rates are really high. So what's the answer? QSI is the answer. You maintain cash flow, you protect cash flow. It's the fortress. You sell and you liquidate, and then you take that money and you use that money wisely into healthy debt. And so as a result of what I do, how I do, and what we do as a team, we're expanding across the country. I have 20 locations of my company nationwide. We are expanding to 185 locations nationwide, slowly but surely. We're not growing too fast because companies that go for broke usually do. And so we are growing at a pace that is acceptable and respectable and responsible. And we also have a private equity company. So that means I've got about 250 business owners that contact me per month that want to sell their business. That means that I have front row seats to the best deals in the country. And so if we find a business that's really rocking and rolling, then we buy that company, we put it into a portfolio. And so we plan on building 185 partnerships. They're called lamps across the country for people that want to learn from me and sell businesses and help people buy businesses. And we plan on buying 185 companies a year with that. And our proposed exit is $3.5 billion to $4 billion, either IPO or getting bought out by a private equity company in the next 7 to 10 years. So we've got a $3.5 billion target to hit. And so far, everything's going well, and we're just expanding our partnerships across the country, in fact, internationally. So that's the 3-minute, 4-minute download.
Awesome, brother. It's good to you and I've been chatting for probably 6 months now, for a while, back and forth. So good to have you in, kind of kicking the tires, checking us out. If you want to put the names of your books in the chat there, a couple of people said, what was the second book? Go ahead and type those in.
I already put the links in for both of them.
Oh, perfect.
Hey, look at her.
Valley's all over it. Awesome,
Look at
brother.
her.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Yeah. Now, by the way, if anybody wants to read those books, you can just get them for free from me. I don't make money on my books. My books are information only for people that can use it to then come back to me as a customer or a partner. So you can get those books for free from me, and I'll be glad to send them to anybody in the group that wants them. And I'll just put my email address in here. That way, if you want them, you can just let me know and I'll send them to you. I had them in audio form as well as digital. I don't send out hard copies just because it's clunky to do. I send out the ebook and I send out the audio book.
Awesome, brother.
You've got my email there if you want to read them. I tell you what, I think that everybody should read the book because it changes your whole idea about business. And most people's reaction is, if I would have known this when I was 20, I wouldn't be still working. And so
I love it. Thanks for the free value, brother. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Mr. Blake, what about you, bud? Current C-type goal. If last time I think we checked, you were on the fence, or maybe you have a couple of things, but what are you currently working on? How can we help? Oh, you're muted, bud.
All right. Thought I had it all queued up here, but yeah, last time we talked about this, it was more about some improvements I want to make to the Just Be the Bank workshop as more of a quote unquote top of the funnel offering, and it shouldn't be, but as the funnel exists now, that tends to be what people go through or are exposed to first. So I've got some improvements I want to make there. I'm still sort of in that process of whittling things down to what I think will move the needle, but will not be overwhelming to do, right? I think one of my temptations in projects like this is to just try to make something perfect, and rather than do that, just find a few things that will be high gain but not overwhelming to implement. So anyway, my current C-type goal, which is what I should have probably started with, is I'm so happy and grateful now that the Steck Family Office Education Company is helping thousands of paying members along a well-defined path toward greater financial and time freedom, leading to annual gross revenue of $35 million for the business, margins of 80%, and $10 million per year in my pocket. And that would all be active income. So I think the main thing that would help me on the path to that would be trying to put some qualified prospects at the Amelia Island live event. And I imagine some folks from Elite will be there. And we obviously have some Access insiders that have come from Elite. Be more than open to anybody who's not been to an Access event, or maybe even joined us in San Diego, to come check out what we're doing in Amelia Island. But more than that, I'd like to see if there's somebody on the call who either themselves is great at putting qualified butts in seats at live events, or could refer me to somebody who is great at that. Yeah, with kind of a single. Yeah, and I want to try to build a marketing machine to fill an event that's 3 months from now, but with maybe some single strategy that could be used to put 15, 20 people who might be qualified Access insiders at that event.
I was going to say, Nelson's raising his hand. I was going to ask you, Nelson, you guys, I mean, you mastered building that event. I think you guys are starting that up again, right?
Yeah, we are. We for 5 years, we did the biggest networking events in the Jacksonville area at the nicest venues. And so we stopped right before COVID because we got bored with it, quite honestly. But we're about to start that back up again because there's a hunger in the market for networking, and we have lots of new funnels of revenue now that we've created for ourselves. So it makes more sense. So we have lists in this area, so we may be able to collaborate on that. Like,
yeah, no, I'd love that, man.
We're 40 minutes from. I mean, Jacksonville is just 40 minutes south of Amelia Island. So,
right, yeah, for sure. And that's I think when we market it, we'll probably say Jacksonville versus Amelia Island, just knowing that it's a recognizable city. But yeah, we'd love to pull some people from Jacksonville who, with live events, there's always can we get people to also book hotel rooms, right? When you're trying to market to a local area, you want them to show up at the event, but ideally also book a hotel room. Yep. So that's the balancing act, but both is ideal, and one or the other would be great too.
So yeah, let's have a conversation offline, kind of brainstorm.
That'd be great. Awesome. Thank you.
Very cool. Very cool. Anybody else?
That's it for me on this one, man. So I don't want to take up any more time.
No, you're fine. We're gonna do a part two. Like, so we have 4 or 5 members that are up in Tennessee right now. Their signal's a little weak, so we're gonna do part 2 of this next week. Anybody else have advice or anything for Blake on filling events?
I wish I did.
No worries, no worries.
Yeah, I wish I did, because it's I've got that coming up as something that I need to handle as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge. I know if anybody's here has seen Andrew Cordell and Eddie Wilson, they're doing the Aspire Tour. It's one way to do it, but they lose $1 million per event. Initially, they're big events. They're putting 1,500 people into an event, and they have rappers, they have pretty high profile guests in there, but then their funnels, everything that they offer throughout the year coming off those events, when you expose 1,500 people, they go way into the black. But that's a heavy load, it's a heavy lift. So a lot of people are trying to crack the code of how do you invite people low cost and pique their interest. And I know Nelson and Chris Patterson were very, very good at that. So I would definitely get with them, Blake. And Greg, you get some advice?
Yeah, I met a contact a couple weeks ago that has databases of 10 and 20 million. So he might be a good resource to connect. I've got his direct cell. And then as well, I work with a marketing agency here in Florida for just certain event structures. And they have a whole turnkey system for it. So we can discuss, Blake. Obviously, we're chatting next week anyway, so we'll discuss them. But if anybody else needs those resources, I'm happy to connect.
Yeah, I would like to echo what Brian said. I mean, I think that the biggest thing that you can do to, I don't know, the most to put yourself into a delusion is to think, well, I'm gonna have an event that's gonna make money. I don't think they ever do. I think that maybe perhaps the greatest event holder in history is probably now Grant Cardone. I think he's surpassed Tony Robbins, which is amazing. But Tony Robbins was probably the only guy to ever literally profit from his. And now Grant Cardone profits from his, but I think there's only two guys that have been able to do it. And I think I think their secret sauce is just a massive, massive brand. And people are already willing to buy as soon as they walk on the door. And so there's less of a sales requirement for whenever they get there to get them into the funnel, to the path of success. People are already showing up with their checkbooks out. And so I don't know anybody here that has that massive of a brand, but I think that is their secret sauce. I think if you don't have that massive brand, then you plan on losing money for sure.
Yeah, at least initially, it's part of the
Well,
business.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying ultimately, but then it comes down to funnels and systems and checks and balances after they leave, basically.
Yeah. I love it. So yeah, Greg, I think I'm gonna you and I need to chat anyway. It's been a while since we had a one-on-one, so I want to pick your brain a little bit too. So awesome, everybody. Well, thanks for pouring into each other. We're gonna do the second half of this because only half of you, and I want to make sure everybody gets a little laser shot here before the end of the year. Next week is our last meeting before the end of the year. So holy cow, did that go by fast. I love and appreciate you all for your contributions, for sharing with each other. I see a lot of networking, a lot of friendships being built, a lot of traveling, coming to see each other. So it's just been an amazing year. Until next week, be well. God bless. And make sure you guys follow up on the connections that were here. Valerie will put this replay in the chat so you can go back through it. And if there's any notes you missed for yourselves, you'll be able to grab them. So until next week, be well. God bless. We'll see you guys.
Bye, guys.
Take care,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.